part 2 of the video. In this video, we are going to be creating the second of our third files and using a really cool feature to select out the controllers from the backgrounds that might be in them. I think I maybe lucked out. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, but I don't have a whole lot. I just have white backgrounds, but they're still there, so I need to get rid of them. I just want the controller. So anyway, once Photoshop is open, you want to make sure that you also have your stock collection file open as well. If you don't, you can just double click this and it will open up in Photoshop. I already have mine there. That's why it's like it is. So go up here to File in the top and then hit New because we want to make a second one. If it says pixels again, just let's be careful. Let's go to inches. I don't know why it reset on me. It shouldn't have. I want the same size as last time. 12 by 12 inches, resolution 300, color mode CMYK. And then where it says Untitled 1, let's call this one Pattern Fills. That will make a lot more sense by the end of this video. So PATTERN FILLS. Again, if you do call it different, it only matters for you on this one. The third one, though, it is part of your grade to get the file name correctly. Then hit Create. All right, you're looking at a white square. What we need is we want a transparent background for this. So where my layer says background right here, double click that and then hit OK. It'll rename it just layer 0. In a little bit, we're actually going to delete this. We can't yet because we don't have another layer to delete it with. So you'll see. Go back into your stock collection. Let's start here with let's hide every layer except for the top one. So how do you do this? You can click the eyeball and they're hidden. I know you can't see them anyway because the N64 controller is over top of them, but there they all go. They're all hidden except for my top image. We're going to use what I think is one of the most bonkers features of Photoshop. It didn't exist back in the day, and it's gotten better and better over time. It's called the Quick Selection tool. It's the fourth one down from the top right here. Object selection might be selected by default, so you might have to click and hold on this tool to find it, but here are the three. You want this one right here, Quick Selection tool. Just to show you, back in the day, people would have to select things with either the lasso tool or something equivalent of this, where you would have to click, drag, and around, and you would have to try to. I'm literally trying. I mean, I'm going fast, but I'm still trying to select an object, and then you would copy paste it. Let me deselect that. Quick Selection is a lot better. I have the minus on here. Once you have the quick selection thing selected, you'll see a plus and minus at the very top. Plus will add to a selection, intelligently. See how it's snapping things around like that? If you ever get too much in a selection, you can go back to the minus, and you can click and minus out little bits as well. I'm going to deselect everything because I'm going to show you a newer feature that's even more crazy, in my opinion. Once you have the plus selected on the top here with the Quick Selection tool, go over here and you're going to see Select Subject right here. Watch this. Takes a second because it's doing the work for you. Voila. Just selected the controller. It knew. Now, I had a little bit easy because I had a stark white background. If you have a really complex background, it might do a little bit of extra selection in which you can go in with the minus one and kind of nitty-gritty pick it apart. I should also say, when you have the plus or minus selected, you'll have this little circle here by default. You can increase or decrease the size of this circle, which is really handy. I want you to look at your keyboard and look for the letter P in the top right of your alphabet section. To the right of that are a left and right bracket. The left bracket will make this little thing smaller, and the right bracket will make it bigger. That way it can help you pinpoint some selections or mass and do them as well. Depending on your background, you might not need to do it. I literally don't. It's crazy from that select subject. Once everything is selected, we're going to copy it. You could do Command-C, which is the hotkey on Mac to copy, or you could go up here to the top where it says Edit, and you can click Copy right there. Once it's copied, we want to go back to our Patterns Fill file. I didn't mention this before, but tabs. Just like an internet browser has tabs. Right here you have two. You have Stock Collection and Pattern Fills. Go to Pattern Fills and let's paste it. To paste is Command-V. Or the slow way is edit, paste. And it'll paste it right in there. Now you might be, wait a minute, there's a white background. We got to get rid of that. Remember how I said layer 0 that we would eventually delete layer 0? Now you can click on layer 0 and hit this trash can at the bottom. It probably will ask you if you want to. I don't ever click this because this is a really nice like oopsies if you accidentally like start mashing buttons. So then hit yes, delete layer 0, and what you're gonna see is this like checkerboard background right now, well, of like gray and white squares. What this means or symbolizes is transparency. Like there is no background. So if I were to print on blue paper, it would be blue. If I were to print on white, it would be white. Red, it would be red. This transparent background functions as whatever color the paper is, which is exactly what we want for this part. So I have my N64 controller. We're going to recap, and we're going to do this really quickly for all the other ones. I'm going to click this eyeball to hide the N64 layer, and I'm going to eyeball in the Super Nintendo. Now, I still have this selection of the N64. There's two ways to get rid of it. The hotkey, and in my opinion, the better way to do it is Command D, as in dog, or deselect. Or you could right-click by pressing two fingers down at once on the trackpad and hit deselect right there. So Command D or deselect. All right, I need the plus added because otherwise it won't work. And I'm going to click. Oh, you also have to make sure that you have the right layer selected. There was the N64 controller one. This is the Super Nintendo. You need to have the layer selected. Otherwise, it's not going to copy anything because it's on a layer that's hidden with the eyeball out. So make sure you have the correct layer selected. Quick selection tool with the plus sign, and then you're going to go select subject. Let's see how I fare on this one. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm not going to do edit copy. I'm going to literally just do Command C, pop over to my other file, Command V. Perfect. And then to deselect, Command D. Hide Super Nintendo. Let's bring in GameCube, select it, select subject. How do we do? Perfect. Oh, no, I lied. You see up here on the like triggers there? So I'm going to decrease this. And let's see if I can do this without even zooming in. Just grab that little extra bit that I need. That looks good. It does look like there's that trigger behind, I think it was Z on GameCube. Whatever that button was called. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, Command C to copy. Command V to paste. Back into here. Hide GameCube. Show regular Nintendo. Select the layer. Command D. Let's get rid of that selection. And let's select subject. I think this one will be pretty easy for it to select. Oh, I got some clipping on the bottom here anyway. So I have the plus sign selected because I want to add to my selection, and I'm just going to go around here on the bottom, click and drag, boom. Not too bad. Yep. All right, copy. Command C. Go to pattern fills, Command V, good to go. Next, hide that layer, get the next one. Got to get rid of our selection, Command D. We're going to select subject. With this black outline on this controller, this should be easy for it. Hey man, I get lucked out on the first ones. All right, I got the plus sign selected. That's good because I want to add to my selection. Take that little bit over there. It missed this little green dot, which is interesting. And up there. Ooh, and the little right trigger as well. Okay, cool. That looks good. Command C to copy it. Back to here. Command V to paste it. I think we got one more. Yep. Hide this layer. This, I think, is going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to go here. Let's deselect Command D. And let's try select subject to see what happens. Oh, wow. That worked. So my fear is that the controller is really white and it's on a white background, so it can get a little hairy with selecting that. That was really nice. That worked out perfectly. All right, so I don't need to do anything with that. So Command C, and then we're going to go over here to pattern fills, and we're going to do Command V. At this point in time, the stock collection PSD, which is super long now because of the one image title, I don't need that anymore. So I actually can go ahead and click X on that and don't save any of my changes. So I'm just looking at pattern fills at this point, and I should have 6 layers right here. I'm going to hide everything but layer 6. So I click this eyeball, and actually I can just swipe on down and hide all these other ones. All right, we're going to save this file, so let's do File, Save on your computer, just like last time. And we're going to put it on the desktop, patternfills.psd, Photoshop, everything's good, hit save, hit OK, and there it is. I'm going to drag it up next to this one, make it look all nice and everything like that. All right, guys, you won't need your stock collection PSD anymore, but let's not delete the file until we're done with the project. Next class, you will need to open pattern fills at the beginning, and then we'll be making our third and final file to go with it. All right, till then, take care.